Everyone, I have been patiently waiting for this. This is the Suaoki 400 watt solar generator. It is 400 watts of lithium power. As you can see, you can charge it via the solar panel. If we get closer, you can see you can also charge it with the AC adapter, along with the 12 volts from the car. It's pretty easy to understand. It tells you what the functions are over here. The output, 12 volts out of the cigarette, 3 amps for the DC plugs, and then 3 amps max for the USB. Below it, you have two 300 watt power inverter ports. Now these are all pure sine wave, which means you can run medical equipment, which is what my use is going to be for my CPAP. You can see the inputs. This thing is pretty cool. I've actually already taken it out of the box. I've charged it. This is how it comes. We'll remove the top. Very, very well packaged. Gonna go ahead, hold it down. There it is. A little bit harder when you do it with one hand versus two. This thing is amazing. We'll go ahead and turn it on. We hold the power button for a few seconds. As you can see, mine is fully charged. I actually charged it with my own 185 watt solar panel. Here's your 12 volt cigarette port, marine, the two 3 amp, and the four 3.5 amp USB. On the side, we've got a two 300 watt 115 volt power inverter plugs. This thing is pretty awesome. Let's go turn this off, and then we'll set it back real quick. Here we go. Let's check the attachments. This is the solar panel plug. You can see these are the MC4 connectors to an Anderson plug. Plugs in right here. Plug in the other end onto your solar panels of choice. It has a maximum charge capacity of 120 watts continuous. Now I was charging with a little bit higher, which is at around 128. .12-volt car plug. This is so you can charge it while you're going down the road in your car. Just plug it in like that. Plug this into your cigarette lighter. I'll go ahead and move it off to the side. Oh wait, there's more. Now we can move this to the side. Should you need to jump start your vehicle, you can do it. Alright, so how would you do it? Go ahead and do that. Open that up. Insert the connector. Now this is A little bit harder with one hand, but as you can see, it's doable. There you go. This means that it's ready to go. Go ahead and unplug that. Close that back up. We will set these aside. That's a pretty neat feature. If you leave your lights on, you can get a quick jump start and get you where you're going. Alright, and then in the last box, the power brick. 25.9 volts. Pretty cool setup. Although this is probably not going to get used much, at least in my case, since this is going into my overlanding rig for camping. So it'll be solar power charged. Again, pretty awesome unit. Really lightweight compared to my other solar generator. It's nice. I'm about to do some tests and we'll be back. We're back. So let's talk about what I normally keep in my tent for camping. First of all, I have my CPAP machine. Normally fans. And this I actually keep in the vehicle, but I do have to bring it in and charge it sometimes. My ham radio. Alright, so let's go ahead and test what utilities I normally run in the tent. So go ahead and turn it on. As you can see, I'm full. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the AC. AC has been turned on. So I have already set these two fans to high mode. We'll go ahead and get these plugged in. There's the first one. There's the second one. And as you can see, they don't draw that much power. These will run for quite some time on high. It'll keep the tent cool in the summer. It'll move air around in the winter when we're using the big buddy heater. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and unplug these. We're going to go ahead and plug in the ham radio. And again, not a really big difference. We'll go ahead and unplug it. So this is the big ticket item. This is an FMP Icon Auto. And this is my CPAP machine. It allows me to sleep better at night. We're going to go ahead and plug it in. Alright. The unit should wake up. If you can see right here, this is the airplane mode or low watt usage. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to hold the mask. You can see it's moving some. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the mask over my face and I'm going to turn it on. So you can see what the usage is on the recommended airplane mode. This is only to be used while on a flight and or camping where you're not going to be using the humidifier feature. So it'll be a little bit loud, but here we go. Alright, so again, not a real significant draw. Turning on the CPAP.
The seal has been made. I know this is kind of mumbled. I'll say this again after the fact, but as you can see, it's not a continuous power draw. I turn that off.
Alright, now the unit is off. So what do we do here? I turn on the CPAP machine in airplane mode. That is with the feature without the humidifier and the heating element. And you could see the wattage draw. So when I breathe in is when it normally puts out the most wattage. And then when I exhale is when it slows back down. Because this is not a constant draw of power, it should power this for 2-3 nights. So we're going to go ahead and turn it back onto auto. This brings us back to the regular setting. Now this is going to be a little bit more demanding, as we'll see here in a minute. As you can see, when I have this turned on the regular mode, the Suaoki power inverter had no problem keeping up with it. Again, it's pure sine wave, and I know that I cannot run this unit as is on a modified sine wave inverter because I have tried. It's good to know that I can run it. However, because it draws anywhere from 90 to 100 watts constant, this would only power it for about 3 to 4 hours. Again, not a big deal, but it is able to do it in an emergency, and that's really good to know. And these are gonna be the basic utilities inside the tent. I actually tried to use the Harbor Freight 100 watt solar panel lights to plug in here. However, they do not fit. The connector that the Suaoki has is much larger, which is a good thing. So we'll get some of those lights and test them out. Great unit. Picked mine up on eBay. Seller was able to ship it fast. This is awesome. There's not much I can say against it. We'll be back and we'll try something a little bit more demanding. So I went through and I started looking to see what items I had that I could possibly run, and I found quite a few things. This right here is not something that I would obviously run inside the tent. I would actually run this outside. This is 12 volts, 8 amps. The Suaoki only outputs a maximum of 5 amps. So I have tested this and it will not run. I'll go ahead and show you on the video. Turn DC on. The light turned on. Alright. You can see E19. I'll turn this off. Turn that off. Again. Turn it on. E19. Go ahead and turn it back off. It's too demanding for this unit, which again, not a big problem. This will be staying in the tent. I actually have my other solar generator that can run this, so that's not a big deal. What do we have here? Alright, this Ryobi drill. I was able to get it started, and it was able to run for a short period of time. It'll draw about 350, 360 watts. However, it is a 6.5 amp unit. So I need to start on low speed. Oh, actually, we're not doing anything because it was powered off. We will power it on all the way low. It doesn't always start, granted. It can do it. I don't recommend you do it because of the amperage. So go ahead and unplug that. Move this tool to the side. Oh, look at this. All right, what do we have next? We have a Dremel 3000 right here. The Dremel 3000 is, get it over here in 2 seconds. $120 volts, 1.2 amps, which it is in the safe range. Unplug it, move it off to the side. This is a Dremel 2001. $120 volts, 0.9 amps. Plug it in. Alright, we'll go ahead and unplug this. Set it off to the side. Alright, now this oscillating tool. These are pretty neat. They are able to cut through and sand and do all sorts of amazing stuff without moving too much. So let's get it plugged in. So right now it is on minimum. Turn it on. You can see it oscillating. We're gonna go up. That is pretty cool. I can use this out in the field. Not a problem. Now here we have something that we could potentially use in the tent. Spot cleaner. Kid has an accident. We don't want to use too many paper towels. Something got on one of the beds, one of the bedding. We can clean it up. We actually had to use this earlier because of an accident. Not a big deal. So all we need to do is plug it in. Actually, left it turned on. All right. It was able to power it. Suction is pretty strong, and I can't really complain. As you can tell, I already have some formula in here from the mess earlier. This is a pretty cool unit. It allows us to run whatever we need as long as it is under 5 amps. It's a pretty tough unit. I can't wait to head out and give it a shot and overland with it.